All right, guys, welcome to the newbie session for Mondays. This is basically your session. So we have regular topics starting at 4, and I'll have those recorded separately. But I just opened this Zoom up for if you guys have, I know, Tim, you had some questions for me. This is all about you guys. Just fire away any questions that you have about the CRM. And Tom, I answered all yours, I think. Tom sent me a pre-list of questions, but I responded to Tom.
I already sent you questions last night and an issue I'm having. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, so let's have you start the share, and we'll go into your account and take a look. And today at 4:00, I'm going to really focus on making sure everybody has all their leads on campaigns tonight, whether SMS or email, and we'll make sure everybody's getting the message out to these sellers.
So I was following along with your ProEdge 5 training, and then I got to a point where I was kind of stuck at some things that you were asking for, which I think are from maybe Buying Buddy, because I'm not hooked up with Buying Buddy. I was kind of waiting on you and Paul to get that figured out so I can get everything hooked in. Is there?
Yeah, what are you waiting on, Paul? Because did you sign up for Buying Buddy already?
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago, but I haven't figured out how to hook it up. And the last time we spoke last week, you said you guys were doing something to make it easier. I thought.
Oh, no. Hooking it up is real easy, Tim. So what they do is they send you out, when you sign up for Buying Buddy, they send you out 5 emails, 1 per day, and you just follow their instructions. Email 1, do what they say. And like you have to go in and you have to set up a page on your website for and he tells you what the page name is, and then he gives you a snippet of code to put on the website. So it's like step by step how to, just hook up the Buying Buddy experience. And then once you have that, I have training about the different pages, about, how we're setting up like the community pages and stuff. Now, what Paul's doing for us is I gave Paul a bunch of widgets that he did not have on the system yet that I had over at IDX Broker. So he's been really busy. In fact, we talked over the weekend. He's given me even 2 more. So there's going to be new widgets available to us to put on our website, but we don't have to wait for those. We're just getting the homes on the website. So, the ones that everybody should focus on is get your just listed and just reduced pages set up on your website. You already have those pages. You just have to get your widget, Tim, and put your widget on the page to list those homes that are just reduced or just listed based on your criteria in your market.
Okay. So that's related to what I sent you last night under the buyer theme and connecting iList.
Yeah, because the buyer theme is going to send those buyers, when they get those emails from you, it's going to send them up to the just listed and just reduced pages on your website.
So
everybody should get those pages done first and then turn on the buyer theme, because those buyers are going to be clicking buttons to go up and see houses that are just reduced in your market.
So I need to go back and look for those emails from Buying Buddy in order to get hooked up. Do I have to do anything to turn off IDX Broker?
No. So, the one thing you have to do is make the Donald Trump phone call. You're fired. So I did that. I went to Realty Candy and I just fired the subscription. So all you have to do is everybody should write this down. If you already have IDX Broker and you want to get rid of them because you're using Buying Buddy, it's support@realtycandy.com. So support@realtycandy.com, and you just say, please cancel my subscription immediately, and just give them a little email to cancel it, and they'll cancel your $95 subscription.
Okay.
But the nice thing about it, guys, is your subscription's good through the next billing cycle. So for me, Feb 15th is when my next bill was coming on IDX Broker. So it didn't shut it off altogether, but I'm not going to get billed anymore. So it gave me a little bit of time I'm still changing some of my pages that had IDX Broker widgets, and I'm putting Buying Buddy widgets on instead. So my website will be 100% Buying Buddy. So it looks like you're getting all your emails out. So
yeah, I just ran into an issue, which I put in my email to you. I was in a panic last night because all of a sudden I was getting a lot of bounce. So I went back through after I sent you that email, and I just cleaned up all the DNS settings. I just redid them, and I checked my DMARC after that. And now also my DMARC went from being bad to being good. So I think it's solved.
Yeah, it probably solved itself.
I
So
just
just so
don't
everybody here
understand.
on the Zoom, what Tim sent me was he recently moved his domain from either Cloudflare over to GoDaddy or whatever, and he had his DMARC and his email service settings in the DNS over there, but when he moved over, they got removed, so the DMARC wasn't set on GoDaddy.
Smarty, it hasn't moved over yet. It's still pending.
Oh, it's still pending. Okay.
I thought maybe it had to do with something because it was pending. So I just went back into Squarespace and redid my DNS settings per Go High Level.
Yeah.
And that cleaned it up last night. But man, was I
Yeah, because if you guys don't know this, this was rules that took effect last year, about the same time last year, February, March, April timeframe. The world of email got rocked because the email gods want to stop spamming and bad emails going out. So they now require 3 entries in your DNS for your email. It's your DKIM, your SPF, and your
audio,
DMARC.
your microphone is turned off.
So the DMARC and all those have to be put in your DNS in order for you get. There's a couple websites you can go to. It's called Test My DMARC or My Domain for DMARC, and you put your domain in. It'll say if it passed or failed, and do you have did you meet all the checkpoints to have a really good email. And yeah, email like what Tim's showing here. It's called MX Toolbox. And everybody should go to MX Toolbox and put in your domain for your email. And then you do a lookup. You don't do the name @ sign. You just put your domain in, and then it's going to go through. And
it's doing it again.
Yeah. So his domain's not ready for sending emails, right? Because it can't find a valid DMARC, DNS, and policies. So he's failing. So if you don't have all greens, guys, it's not worth sending emails out because the email gods, Gmail, AOL, MSN, Yahoo, they're not going to deliver your email for you. So it won't go out of your.
This is what happened to me last night, and so I went in and redid the DNS settings. So I can only think that it has something to do with this transfer that's going on.
I think Tim, I really think it is. I think it has to do with the transfer that is probably in flight. So what this system does, guys, it goes up on your DNS to say, do they exist? But if your domain, Tim, is in flight, they may not been able to read the DNS, so it's reporting it can't find anything.
Should I turn my email? Because isn't it bad when I get the 3% unbounced?
Yeah, you really should turn off. So the easy ways to turn them off is let's go hit the back button, Tim. Go to automations. And I don't know if you're doing buyer and seller ones, but we're going to open up those campaigns. So go into my V5 automations. And then depends on if you're doing buyers and sellers. You may have to go into both folders, Tim, to see what you're doing. But if you go into the seller automations there, what you'll do is you'll see when these are all the automations, and it tells you how many people are in each of those automations. So you don't have to worry about downsizing and divorce, Tim, and courthouse are all zeros. That means you have nobody in those automations.
Right, but these two here.
But those two you do. So what you do is you hit the 3 dots on the right. And then up there, there's a thing called draft workflow. Okay, so what that just did was it turned off the automations. So no more emails will go out to those expired listings or FSBOs, until Tim turns them on. So once you get your DMARC and everything over on GoDaddy, Tim, and you test your DMARC and you say it all looks good, then you can come back and you'll say publish, right? You'll publish them once you're done.
What about these two up top here? I just noticed cash offers that were never turned on.
Oh, I'm going to cover those at 4. Hold on at 4 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 4 o'clock's my subject on those. I just put them in your system over the weekend. So you guys have a couple new automations I'm going to talk about. So why don't you go over your buyers? Because I don't know if you have any buyers, but if you go into buyer and
Really?
vendor automations there,
Well,
Tim, the second folder,
this
just make,
one?
yeah, make
Oh,
sure you don't have any buyers. Yeah, you do have some new buyer ones.
I do, and I do have a question about that. There's a coming in from listing to leads.
Yep.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. Um,
So
let me just
I would put that on draft right now, so they won't get any emails until your email's sorted out.
it's not responding.
Oh, just hit refresh.
Yeah.
I have a ticket open for Go High Level. Noel, I don't know if you saw this on your Go High Level yet, but I've been noticing that in the last 2 weeks where the mouse doesn't freeze. I can still move it around, but instead of having a button that I can click on something, it's like an arrow, so it doesn't do anything. I think that's a Go High
Yeah,
Level issue.
I think it's Go High Level too. I'm having a problem where my mouse actually freezes and I have to leave High Level and come back in.
I have to I
And
don't
it
have to leave, but what I do is I do a refresh of the browser and then my mouse wakes up again, then I can click.
it won't even, it like completely freezes.
Yeah.
And I've got to do like a hard restart of my computer.
Yeah. So Tim, they went out. Those emails did go out. So
Yeah.
you can click and see what email went out. You can open those up and see the email.
See, these are buyers.
Yeah.
Oh, buying a new one. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the text? Not here, but I noticed that ever since we turned off texting, I'm not getting any more people clicking anything from My Plus leads that are coming in.
Yeah, so well, right now V5 is emails, and then I just added the text back because last Tuesday the world of texting was banned from us. It's illegal, and then they got kicked out of the court system. So we're allowed to text again. So that's why I'm going to talk at 4 o'clock. I put the old text campaigns in there again.
Okay,
I'm
great.
going to show you guys how to hook it back up. So if you want to send text out, you just have to hook it up in your CRM. I didn't want to just assume you wanted it on because my take on it is I'm not going to do those texts anymore. Cold outreach text. I'm only going to do it based on like the flip book strategy we did for FSBOs and expireds. I'm going to be manually sending a flip book to a seller instead of me just broadcasting 200 cold text messages out to 200 people I don't know, and 18 of them or 19 of them say stop, and then my opt-out rate goes through the roof and I get banned. So you got to be careful of that.
All right, thank you, Smarty. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So I'll cover SMS at 4.
Okay.
Sue?
I have two questions. One is on my DMARC, I got 2 greens and I got a yellow exclamation mark, and it says quarantine reject policy not enabled.
That's
Is it-
okay. That's okay. So in the world of DMARCs, there's different settings you could do on your DMARC to say quarantine emails if they look shady, reject them, or just leave it none. They're always going to, if you don't have a high DMARC policy like reject or the other one, it'll always be orange or yellow. Go high level and mail gun, especially for what we're doing. You don't need those heavier quarantine type rules. They're used if you have a full-time staff managing quarantine lists, and none of us have that staff. So if you have quarantine turned on, you send out 100 emails, it's going to quarantine 80 of them until you look at them before it goes in the inbox. So it's just a high management nightmare for all of us, right? If you have it turned on. So that's why we turned it off, but you'll never get to 100% and all green unless you have those heavy restrictions on.
Okay, no, I'm good. So I guess I'll
As
be
long as you're
about,
green, yellow, that means you're good. And emails out.
I'll be ready to turn that into start using my new email. But anyway, my other question is, Smarty, since I live in Arizona and we're apparently in the dark ages of technology, can I use FBS, MLS, like an IDX or Realty Candy? Because Buying Buddy doesn't, he already said it's outdated and he can't connect to my Southern Arizona MLS.
Yeah, so you can check with IDX Broker to see if they support you. That's through Realty Candy.
Well, I think they do.
Yeah, so you can implement them if you want to do the IDX in the Go High level. You could leverage them.
Do you have any old training on
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Because,
All my training in the course is setting up the 14 pages with IDX Broker.
okay. So
Yeah,
I can still
I
at
do.
least do it.
Yeah, you can do it. And in the course, guys, if you're using IDX Broker, I have training on each widget in Realty Candy and like put this one on this page, put this one on this page,
Okay.
type thing.
It'll
I
make
haven't
me,
done the buying buddy one yet because some of the widgets Paul's creating for us, like the market report and the summaries, we should have it in buying buddy in the next week. And then I'll shoot a whole new set of buying buddy trainings on some of the new widgets.
okay, don't take the old one down. I just wish we weren't in the dark ages here in
Yeah.
Arizona.
And hopefully, I think he said Arizona was upgrading. I don't know when they're going to do it, but hopefully in 2025 they come out of the dark ages and update their web service so products like Buying Buddy can use them.
Yeah, but I mean, I just want to be able to utilize our webpage so people will stay with us stuff,
Yeah,
our communities. So, all right,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, it's working. This communities and blog interlocks. Bob's going through the roof on website visitors. He's getting a lot of traffic, and now that we have the pixels, they're all in custom audiences. He's set up for this year to really do some really targeted advertising to this group.
I want some of that.
That's what we all want, right? That's what we all want. So, Steve.
Marty, good morning. Thanks for the help. I got a few questions.
Yep.
And I may need to share my screen if that's okay.
Yep, absolutely. Share your screen.
All right. So I know that thank you for, that's the one I want to share. Thank you for setting up my website, right? So I'm good with that now. Can you see me?
Yeah, and I'll throw this out to everybody here. What I did for Steve, I did for a number of people this week. Depends on when you join my CRM. If you're a couple months old, you may only have a website that has only 22 pages on it. And in your CRM, you probably have another site that I called IDX web pages, and there's like 14 pages in another site. And then I have a training course because all my legacy CRM customers from a year or two ago, they were in the same boat. I introduced 14 new pages, and then I had training on how to move the pages into your website one at a time and set them up. But in my new CRM, for all the new customers that just joined today and this week and last week and all, when they get their system installed, they get the full 42-page website from me as one site. So what I said to everybody is, like for Tim and Tom and Don, I think I got you yesterday. I think that I got Don asked for it. I got Donald going. Nancy, if you need it or whatever. I said, if you're not that far along with your website, what I did for those guys was I deleted the existing site and I put the 42 page in your account and just pointed to the domain. So you can still open it up. It's still the same website, but now you have 42 pages. So that's what I did for Donald and Steven. So if Tim or Nancy, Tom, who else is here, Trinette, any of you guys or Gigi, if you want me to refresh your system so you get the full 42 pages, and you want those 42 pages if you intend to do buying and shopping in your site. If you don't want to do buyers in your CRM, you don't need those pages. But if you want to set up community pages and blogs and shopping experiences, you'll want those pages. So example of two of the pages of the 14 is the just listed and just reduced web page. And a lot of our emails for buyers will take a buyer up to that page to see homes that are just reduced in price or just listed on the market. So they're very valuable pages to have.
You want us to just send you an email?
Yeah, send me an email, just say, or a text message, say, hey, Smarty, refresh my website. And then I'll get rid of your old site and put the new 42 pager on and let you know it's ready. And then you can
How do
start.
we know if you did it?
Well, if you just go to your sites, go to your website, like Steve, let's show everybody, go to CRM, get out of the site, go to the top, just go to the top of the white page, not the black page.
Okay.
Go scroll up. No, scroll up right there. See the little back button under Steve's website?
You want me to go back?
Yeah, hit the back. So when you guys come in, when you go to sites in the menu, you want to hit websites up top.
Mhm.
you're going to see, well, when you first come in, if you hit the home button there,
You want me to go back?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So when you first come in, it'll probably say ProEdge templates. If you
Right here.
open up that folder, I rename them when I set you up. So I call them websites. So when he clicks on there, there's 3 websites that I have now for Steve. I have a FSBO website, I have his regular website, and then I have an open house check-in page. So Steve, your next open house, you're going to want to open up that one and get that set up.
And create that. Okay.
You can get that page going so you can have a nice QR code at the open house for people to scan, sign in, and all that fun stuff.
Right into the CRM.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Sue was just asking, how do I know what page? When you look at his page, no, go back, hit the back button. So when you're looking at the list, look to the right, you'll see how many pages are on the website. If yours doesn't say 39, you're on the old, you're probably going to say 22 or so. You just have the original website.
Okay, so I'll send you a new text.
Yeah, Steve has all 39 pages now, which is the new site.
And that's what I have questions about, because I
Yeah.
was trying to set them up as of Saturday morning, and I spent a lot of time trying to set it up in here, and I gave up. Because so let's just pick, like, this is one of the news pages, right? Just listed.
Yep.
I go to now. I follow the video, the instructions, and it says you have to clone it, but you've already done it, so I don't need
No,
to
I
clone.
have no cloning because now you have a full official site. There's no cloning.
Right. But here is the issue I ran into, and I think it's a simple issue. But you see, here's the page. This is what it looks like, right? I need to add a header and a footer, which I know I could do that over here, but it's not in here. My headers are
No,
footer.
it's not there. When you click on that, Steve, see on the left-hand menu, it says global sections.
Yes.
You click on global sections. There's your global
There it is.
header and footer. So
Okay.
start with the header. Start with the header at the top. Drag
Yeah.
and put it above the just listed properties.
Right
Drop.
there.
Yep.
Now
There.
I did that. So here's my question. It doesn't have the logo in there.
No, it will. It comes in automatically.
Oh,
that's
because
your-
when I
that's your
looked at
custom
this,
value.
it didn't show it. When I
Yeah,
did this, it didn't show it.
Well, your
Okay.
website logo is a custom value.
Yes.
So if you have the image in the custom value, it'll show when you run the site. So hit the save button. And then go to the bottom of the page.
Error while creating page.
Let's look at why that's there. Hit cancel. Go down to the bottom and let's put the footer in. So go to the bottom of the page first, like scroll down to the bottom and then hit the plus sign. Hit global sections and drag the footer in the bottom.
Is anywhere down there?
Yep.
Oh no, I put in. Oh, there it goes.
Right. So now he has his footer in
See,
there.
it doesn't have right.
No, all those where they are. Don't worry, Steve. It doesn't show your actual data when you're in the editor.
We're gonna go up. Okay, great.
Right. So
Save.
hit save. See if it'll save. There it goes. Hit publish.
Maybe that's what I didn't do. I don't think I published it. I tried to look at it before I published it.
Yeah, you have to publish.
And I didn't see it.
live.
Yeah.
So now,
Okay.
now open up your. There's a little URL. If you click that open, now he has his just listed page
See,
with a
it's
header.
not. The
Yeah, I'll
logo's
look
not
at.
there.
We'll go look at your custom values because apparently it's not there.
See, that's there, but the
Yeah.
logo is down there, but it's not.
Yeah, we'll
And
look at your
even
custom
yesterday or
values.
Saturday when I was doing it, this didn't even show up.
Yeah, that's because it just wasn't published. It wasn't looking at live.
Okay, so I go back to. You still see my screen,
Yeah.
right?
So guys, in the training course, in the 14-page training course, this is totally up to you guys if you want it. But Bob Milloway shared his girl that goes on every one of your pages with her talking about the page. Okay.
That's my next question.
Yep.
Because I
that's-
tried to embed her in here.
Yep.
I don't have the app that you have yet. What is it?
It's Dub.
Dub. Yeah, I don't have that yet. So the link that you sent me with the girl on there, I went into the link and I went into embed and I got the code from there and it didn't work.
Well, no. So let's talk about videos on websites, guys, real quick, because you guys are all new. So, anytime you put a video on a website, you need to store that video somewhere so it can be displayed on the website. So that somewhere, our favorite app is Dub. So Dub is a great video marketing platform. So you could load your MP4s, your videos up on Dub, and then get the embed code and put it on the web page. So now the video is right on the top of the page. That's what most of us do. If Dub has a price to it though, there's a subscription. So if you don't want to spend the money right now until you close some deals, you could put your videos up on YouTube. YouTube's a free video platform. So you can set up a YouTube channel and just start loading all your videos up to YouTube. And then you get the embed code from YouTube and put them on the page. Go High Level also has a video section. So I can show you, like, do you have a YouTube video, Steve?
I don't know.
Okay, so you need to have it stored somewhere. So either on Dub, Loom, YouTube, it just has to be hosted somewhere so that it can display when they open up the website, it'll play.
But the the girl that you have, that's not displayed anywhere other than Dub.
No. I gave you the actual MP4 for the lady.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, I went off the training video and pulled that link.
Yeah, so share your screen, go to the training video so everybody can see it.
All right,
So hit the back button there so you get out of the editor and then go down to the ProEdge community. So when you're in the community, take a course and you go into the learning module, the learning center. And what I did, this was about a month ago or a little right before Christmas is when we put this in here. It's not in the V5 training. You go down a little bit in the training course. It's website new pages.
Yeah.
So when you click on that, if you go down to like the just listed or just reduced, there they are.
These are all the ones you just showed me. I just did.
So
right.
if you click on just reduced page, I have a video
right here, right?
that shows you how to set up the just reduced page. Now, if you take my full system, when I shot these, nobody had the pages in my CRM. Everybody had 22 pages. So I gave them another site that they had to clone and put the pages in their website. So just skip that part of the training. If you take my full website, you will already have the page. You're just going to follow how to set up that page, not how to clone the page. Does that make sense?
It does.
If you don't take the full website from me because you said, hey, Smarty, I pimped out my 22 pages the way I want it, then you're going to follow my instructions by taking the package of 14 pages I put in your system, and you're going to copy them into your website one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. But in here, it says there's a link that says access the video here. That's a share drive. So
this is it right here, right?
Yeah, when you click on it, Steve, it's going to make you copy it, or this is the girl. So just play the girl for a second.
The best way to get a great deal on a new property is by buying at the best price possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bob was generous enough. He gave all of us all the videos of the girl to put on all the websites. Now, ideally, what we tell everybody in our masterminds on Fridays is you got to start branding yourself. So a lot of the agents in the CRM that's been with me for a while with the 14 pages, they use the girl. In fact, I still use the girl on my pages because I haven't had time to shoot my videos with Hey Jen. We're AI certified agents, and I'm going to do a Hey Jen of me talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to replace because we have the video scripts too that's tied to each girl. So each girl, we have a video script. And what Bob does and what we taught people a couple of weeks ago is take that script, put it in ChatGPT and say, write it in my own voice, right? So you can have the script rewritten under your voice, the way you say things. And then if you use Hey Jen and you have an avatar yourself, you can pump that script into that avatar. And then you put yourself on the web page talking about just reduced homes.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that video and scripts?
They're in the training course that we were just at. So when you're in the training course, I give you the link, and then down below I have the scripts.
Okay.
So you can get the scripts and rewrite them and then, shoot your own videos. And that way you can either do it live or use HeyGen to do an avatar version of yourself. Depends on how comfortable you are.
I just did my first HeyGen
Nice.
on my site, and I'm doing it with the community pages. So I do a little blurb about the community on there.
That's good. You have to share let's share it with everybody. After we're done, Steve's done sharing. I want you to share, Gigi. Let's take a look so we can see how it came out.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's what all of us should do as we're certified agents is use HeyGen and just pump the scripts in there and generate like 15 new HeyGen videos for each page, right?
Yeah, it makes everybody sound so intelligent.
They do. Yeah, you're super intelligent. You're up there talking about, so they land on your page instead of having a girl on the page. They're going to see bald Smarty, right? But they're going to get to know me as a realtor. So when I show up at their house, they already know me because they saw my video instead of the girl.
So, Smarty, I've got the snapshot that you gave me for version 5. And when I went to the training for version 5, it said which automations to get rid of. Should I delete the websites too?
Oh, so let's talk about that real quick, guys, because that's so what that is, Noel, is they tell me it's fixed now, but when you load snapshots into Go High Level, they had a bug that was duplicating assets. So like the automations, if you go to the automation folder, Noel, you should see a version 5 automation. And if you open that up, there's a folder, and then there's multiple folders under there, buyers, sellers, etc. All the automations get installed correctly, but outside the folder, it also installed another copy of each of my automations. So they were out there naked by themselves in draft mode. That's a bug of Go High Level. Now, they just sent me an email on Friday, said, Smarty, it should be fixed. I haven't tested it yet. But because you're in your own agency, Noel, what you want to do is you want to clean out all your old version 3s and 4s. You want to clean out all the automations that are 3s and 4s and make sure you just have 5s. And you just want to have the 5 folder and anything else out there. And then in the email templates, you got to get rid of all the old 3s and 4s email templates and just have 5 email templates.
Is there training on the clean out?
No, you don't have to worry, Sue. So inside my CRM, I have JP on my team cleaning all your accounts out. So
now,
you don't.
My other question.
You don't have to worry about cleaning out.
The snapshot, does it include the 39-page website?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so I'm all set.
You're all set. Yep.
So
Awesome.
Smarty, getting back to the girl. This is what I tried to do. I went here. Can you see it?
You don't want to do that because you don't want to show it there. No, don't do it there. It's not going to work. It's not going to work there, Steve. You got to.
Yeah, it didn't work.
You got to put it on YouTube or Dub or one of the platforms.
So if I share it,
nope.
How do I put it on? Oh, I have to download it and upload it.
Yeah, download it and then you upload it into YouTube.
Okay, and then get the code and then okay.
Here, I'll share my screen real quick just to show you.
Do I need to?
And can you show us where to change that global header to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Steve unshare.
Yeah, just unshare, Steve.
I don't even see.
At the very bottom where it says share, I think if you click on that, you can close it.
Say unshare.
Yeah,
the green button.
Hold on, I'm using 3 screens. There we go. I gotta find you. There we are.
Yeah, so when you're in YouTube, if you go to your YouTube studio, this is where you load in your videos. So in here, if you're going to load the girl, you'll just load the girl in here. And then when you're in here, when you're on a video.
We don't see your screen, Smarty.
Oh, wait, let me share again. So I'm just in YouTube. So I use Dub. If you could afford Dub, it's a subscription, but it's a marketing platform. Highly suggest Dub. But like this is how I have all the replays now for all these sessions each week. You'll notice they're on YouTube to watch, which some of the agents have called me. They love this new approach because they put it on their TV. They watch my replays on the TV because they have YouTube on the channel. YouTube is a channel on their TV. But in any case, when you're on one of these, when you're looking at a video and you're in the share mode, so if I open up a video in YouTube,
but
YouTube has a share.
All sorts of stuff. Your favorite place to get coffee.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah,
You guys see,
different
put the
local
link.
ones.
You put the link to the advanced course that the girl on his team did, right? So right here, there's a share button. And when you share, they have what's called embed code right here. So this is what you're putting on the web page for the video.
Okay.
You're just sharing that way. All right, let's go around the horn. We got about 20 more minutes before the big group comes in.
Well, Smarty, one more thing. I'm sorry. What do I need to do about my logo not showing up on the page?
Oh, I'll look at that offline. It's probably just
Okay.
custom value. So if you go to custom value, search for logos and make sure you have an entry in that value.
I did, and it was there. That's why I stopped. Because
I'll double check for you, but it should just pull from that area. We got to make sure you actually got the link from the image that you want. So you go to the media library, you find the image that you want to put on your website, you grab the link.
Should I redo it?
Yeah, redo it. So go to the media library,
Okay.
grab the link, and then go to the custom value and paste the value in the logo field.
Okay, I'll redo it and see what.
Do it. Let me know if it works, and if not, I'll troubleshoot with you later.
Okay.
Renette?
Okay, I'm sorry, I had to unmute myself. Okay, my question was about like the emails when you were just going over like email delivery and everything. I noticed once the summary came in to show me like how many emails went out, text messages and all of that. It seemed like I got a lot of emails to go out, but I'm not getting anything from I'm not getting any responses from these homeowners or the people that's coming through My Plus leads.
Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about that. So we spent a lot of time back in November and December this year talking on the masterminds about the importance of a warm email.
Mm-hmm.
So more than likely what's happening is you do not have a good reputable email yet.
Okay.
And because of that, let's say you send out 500 emails.
Mm-hmm.
490 of them probably went to the junk folder. So the people on the other end never even knew you sent them an email.
I remember you talking about email warming through Instantly.
Yeah, through Instantly. So there is a little hiccup right now in Go High Level. I'm going to see if they activated it, but they didn't let us do it in Go High Level. They took it away from us. We were able to do it. Now we can't. They're supposed to be turning it back on for me, but I haven't got a notice that it is back on. So stay tuned on that, but I'll do another class on a Wednesday. As soon as it turns back on, I'll do a special class for you guys to set up your Instantly if you haven't set it up yet, because that's how you get these emails warm.
I don't even know what Instantly is.
Oh, so Instantly is an AI warming software. So I'll give you kind of a quick summary of what this is all about. So in the world of emails, you have to prepare your email with some records that you put in what's called the DNS. So step one is you got to use like DMARC Tester or Easy DMARC. I show in the training how to use Easy DMARC. And you want to make sure that your email has the right entries in the DNS. So so let me go into.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about on my accounts when we first started.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so you're going to do a new training on that. I need to make sure because I'm using a Gmail, like a business Gmail, though.
Yeah. Well, you can't use an @Gmail anymore, Gigi. That's against the law.
No, it's not. It's not at Gmail. It's through. I bought my own domain.
Yeah.
But
As long as it's at your
through,
domain, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
But I'm getting like a 2% open rate.
Yeah. So
it says
that's more
100% delivery, but only 2% open.
Yeah. So more than likely, even though it got delivered, that means that a lot of it's probably inside the junk mail, the junk folder. Right.
All right. Well, I'll look for that new training when you get that up.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
Yeah, I'll tell you how good it is. So when I first started the email marketing with myself when the new rules came out, I had Smarty the Realtor was a new email for me, and I was getting like 2% open rates. And I'm like, what is going on? Why aren't people opening my emails? And as a result, I did an analysis and I was landing in junk folders. So nobody was actually seeing my emails. So I used Instantly and I warmed it for 2 months. And when I warmed it, all of a sudden, now I started using the warm one. I got a 67% open rate and I got 930 sellers checking out their cash offers and values. So that was a good lesson in if you got to land in people's inbox for them to get results, right?
So it takes 2 months.
It could take a month or two to warm your email. Yep.
What's
I mean, it's not
considered
So,
what's considered a good open rate?
well, in the world of emails for realtors, a good open rate should be anywhere from 8 to 20%.
All right, so that's my problem. So yeah, when is this training going to go out? I need to start now if it's going to take me months.
Yeah, so right now we can't use Instantly in the CRM, so I got to wait GD to them turn it back on for us. As soon as they turn it on, I'll send an email to everybody, and anybody that doesn't have Instantly and they want to start, I'll do a separate session with you guys to get it set up.
Okay, thank you.
But here's how it works. So if you think of emails, so you know what this subject's about, especially if you have a new email, like, oh, I just went on GoDaddy. I bought a new domain for my business. I'm a new realtor. So now I'm gg@ggtherealtor.com or whatever, right? It's never been used before. So when you send an email out of your outbox to the recipient, the email gods look at that email and say, is this a reputable email? Right? If it's not reputable, it puts it in the junk folder, or it puts it in the social folder or the promotions folder. It doesn't land in the inbox. Okay, so that's the problem in email marketing. So what an email marketing warming tool does, like Instantly, there's a bunch in the market. I just found Instantly is really good. What it does, it hooks to your inbox, and the AI is writing emails and emailing it to you. So if you look at my Smart in the Real
convention,
I get like 20, more than that. I get about 40 emails per day from Instantly, and they're real emails. The chatbot actually wrote the email, like, Smarty, do you want to meet for lunch? It was great meeting you at the seminar, da, da, da. And then, it has a little tag at the bottom, so I know it came from them, so I don't respond. But in the email marketing, you get points. So if you have a good email, did it land in the inbox? That's a point. The next point is, did somebody actually open the email? You get more points. And when they open the email, if there's buttons in there for them to click on, if they click on the button, that's even more points. And if they hit the reply button and send you an email back, that's even more points. So to get a warm email, you got to have people engaging with yourself, right? Back and forth. You send it out, the seller emails you back, right? They open up the link, they click the button. So as you're doing email, the more that happens in your email delivery, the higher reputation you get in your score. And then the carriers say, hey, Brian's sending an email. That's a good email. Let's stick it in everybody's inbox. Does that make sense? So it's all about reputation. And the email marketing warming tools will artificially warm your system by opening it up. They get an email from me, they open it up, they click the button, they reply back. So it's actually having a communication back and forth with Smarty and Yahoo and MSN and Gmail. They're all saying, hey, this is a really good email. Look how much they're communicating with each other. Right? And that's how I land in the inbox. Don, I put the dub in there if anybody's interested in dub. So Mark just said what version. So it's really up to you. They're all basically dub. So you could use it. You could do a starting plan of dub and then grow into it. I use dub every day in my business. I send every seller a dub video. What's nice about dub is it does it does video marketing for you, and it tells you who's watching what video. So if you use YouTube to put a YouTube on your website and somebody watches it, you don't even get a notice. You don't know who watched it. But if you use Dub, it'll say Mary Smith just watched your video on the trade-in program and watched 100% of the video and watched two of your playlists. So now who's hot? I'm going to be talking to Mary Smith and reach out to her with a text and say, hey, Mary, what did you think of my trade-in program? I saw you just watched the whole video, right? That's what Dub does for us. Donald?
Smarty, I'm still having problems with that website. I keep getting an error page of 404. I was on with GoDaddy and they said everything is set and perfect there. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong to make that website go to 404.
Let's share your screen. Let's see if we can quickly troubleshoot it.
Let me see if I can hear.
And then Mark was asking the girl video. I think I showed you that, Mark. So that's up in the training course under the new website pages. Each page has a girl video.
I'm not sure what screen you got. Is it showing?
I'm looking at just your computer background screen.
Okay. Let me just hold on 2 seconds. That better?
Yep. Now we see your inbox.
Yep. Go to sites.
No, go to we're not seeing your CRM yet. We're still seeing just your inbox, your Gmail.
I gotta unshare. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Tom, I saw your notice there too. Get your regular emails warmed as well. So, when I first got Smarter the Realtor email and I had a buyer that wanted to put an offer on the home, I submitted the offer and the listing agent never responded to me. And like a day later, I said, did you receive it? Confirm you received it. And then I finally got in touch with the listing agent. She goes, Smarty, I never got an email from you. And then she hunted around and it said, oh, I found you in my junk folder. How bad is that as a realtor when you're submitting an offer on a home and you're not even landing in the inbox, right? On a critical offer on a house. I could have cost my buyer the house of their dreams, right? So, like Tom said, warm your regular emails just as much as you warm your CRM emails.
For some reason, Smarty, I can't get this screen to share.
When you go to the share window, Don, you could just say share my entire desktop. So that means wherever you click on your desktop, it's sharing the whole thing.
Okay.
Don't say share screen because that'll only be the tab or the website you're on.
Don, click on ProEdge Market. Click on the ProEdge Marketing tab.
Yeah, right up there, the ProEdge Marketing. You have it on, Don.
Is it showing?
Yeah, I see it right there next to the Zoom tab that you're on.
Okay, hold on a second.
Right there. Right there we go. No, you're there. You were there.
All right. Share. You see my Zoom screen right now?
Yep. So go to the tab right to the right of it. Not Buying Buddy, the one in the middle. That's the CRM.
There we go. I had to move the thing up. Okay.
All right. So what I want you to do is let's start with domains on the left. Go down on the menu. Don't go out of there. Go down. And selling dot. All right. And then hit the 3 dots. Hit edit. All right. See where it says default page?
Yep.
Hit default page. Click that down arrow. Hit the home page. And then in the 404 page, hit the home page. And then hit save.
That was it?
That's it. So yeah, so get out of settings. Let's go over to your site and open it up and see if it works. Okay. So if you just go to a browser and you type in your domain, selling whatever.
Yeah. can't be
Oh,
elimination.
what we have to do is go to Go High Level and publish the website. So let me
Oh,
go published. So go out of settings up top and then go to sites. And then up top, go to websites. Open your Don folder and open up that website down there. Open up the home page.
and publish,
And hit publish.
update SEO.
Don't do that just yet. That you need to do that at some point. You want to get your SEO updated. I have a separate training on that, guys, the SEO. Make sure you do that on your website all the time for Google. That's a separate training. But see that link up top? See the link, your URLs up above there? Just click on it.
Yeah, all my headers and everything disappeared when we switched it over. Everything turned to like that.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep getting that white.
Yeah, it wasn't like that until you flipped over yesterday when you
Page.
flipped everything over.
I'll take a look at it, but that's the regular header. So it may just be an old header. We just have to replace the menu
logo
header
header?
with the new one in.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll be able to fix that. But now it's up and running.
Yep,
So-
okay, super.
So everybody should check that in your settings domain. Hit the 3 dots next to your domain and make sure you've set the home page and the 404 page to the home page. What that does is if somebody doesn't, like if your domain is set to be www.smartertherealtor.com, if somebody just types in smartertherealtor.com, you're going to get a 404 error because it's looking for www.smartertherealtor.com. What we just did in the settings, Donald, was we told the system, no matter what, always go to the home page.
Perfect.
So now if somebody misspells your domain, it's going to go to the home page.
Okay.
Okay. Or if they don't put the www, it'll still go to the home page.
Awesome.
Should we do that for everything that's listed in our domain section?
Yeah, in the domain section, well, if they're tied to websites. So any domain you're using on a website, you want to do that edit and make sure you're pointing it to the right page.
Okay. All right, perfect.
All right. So we got a couple more minutes. Any other questions?
So right now, because and like you said, I have sent out some of the flip books manually from my cell phone, my business cell phone. So I'm gonna just wait until you let us know about the instantly again, and like what can is nothing else that the CRM can do for me. Just continue.
Yeah, I mean, Trinette, I would say turn on the campaigns and continue to use the CRM and sending emails out. Your delivery may still be crap. You may only get 20% in the inbox, 80, but you're still getting 20 out versus shutting them all off and getting none.
Right.
So I would still use it. But, as you get these warm, then you're going to get to a point where they're going to start landing more and more in the inbox.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that.
Hey, Smarty.
Yep.
Why are contacts tagged when they're tagged as sphere in the sphere workflow? Why do you assign a seller tag?
Oh, so let's talk about that, Tom. Good question. So, in the CRM, especially if you're using the chat bot, every contact should either have a seller tag, a buyer tag, a renter tag, or a seller and buyer tag if they're buying and selling from you, right? Because that's who they are. They're a seller. So if it's a sphere, somebody I sold a house to them or, got them in a new house, they're in my sphere. They're still a seller because they could sell down the road, maybe 7 or 8, 10 years, but I would just put them as who they are. Okay. So that's fundamental. Now, along with the tag seller, we then have another tag that we put on them of what type of seller they are. So they may have a tag that says seller, pre-foreclosure, seller, expired listing, right? Expired. The secondary tag is what sets the automation that they go into. So expires going to the automation for expires, divorce going to divorce, motivated sellers going to motivated sellers, right? So that's the combination of tags. And I'm going to cover that at 4 o'clock so everybody knows how to tag things properly. I got off the phone this morning with a couple buyers and they told me what they're looking for and I tagged them a certain way. So now they're getting different communication about what they're looking for, not just a general buyer campaign.
Hey, Smarty,
Go through all that. Yep.
right thing, right order, and auditing as we build this thing to be what it's supposed to be. Do you have any type of checklist? Is okay, make sure all this is done in this block, that block, that block as you go through this whole entire, because I find myself bouncing around to different trainings, you know?
So everybody's been asking me for that, Don. And I'm just gonna commit and just get one done. I'll put it in the community. I won't put it in the training. I'll put it in a pin post on the community. I'll just have, these are the things everybody should audit and check. They have this in the CRM. And the way I always couch it is there's the bare minimum.
Yep.
And the advanced, right? So I always tell people with the CRM, do not eat the elephant with one bite. You're on the Zooms here with some people that have been with me for 6 months. They are so far ahead of you because they're in doing advanced communities and blogs and all this stuff. Don't think you need to get communities and blogs and everything going before you talk to your first seller and buyer, right? So, the bare minimum on the checklist is your email turned on and ready to go. Are you A2P compliant to send text messages? Start loading leads and start talking to buyers and sellers. That could happen in the first couple days.
Yeah, that's going
Now
on.
that happens, then you take the next thing on and say, maybe now I'll work on my website and some other things, right? So
Okay.
I'll put that in the community this week. I'll commit to getting that in there as a checklist for everybody.
Okay.
All right, let me stop the share here for the newbies.